Hi students, we are going to learn about the basic principles of Indian Constitution or important features of the Indian Constitution today. So let us see what is meant by Constitution. It is a fundamental law or apex law or the supreme law of the country. It reflects all the fundamental principles on which the government of the country is based. For example, how a person should behave towards the state or what are the functions to be performed by the state towards its citizens. Everything will be incorporated in it. Now let us see about the basic principles of the Indian Constitution. There are the lengthiest written constitution, rigid and flexible, unitary and federal characteristics, fundamental rights and duties, parliamentary system, directive principles of state policy, universal elected franchise, independent judiciary, single citizenship, and emergency powers. Let us discuss detail. Lengthiest constitution of the world. India's constitution is the bulkiest or the lengthiest constitution comprises of the world. Now it is approximately 448 articles, 25 parts and 12 schedules in it. It is the largest constitution of any of the countries when you compare with any of the country. Now let us see about the rigid and flexible. Rigid means strong, flexible means could change easily. Some of the articles in the constitution could not be amended easily. In rigid constitution, no article can be easily amended. If we want to amend it, it needed a long procedure. Legislatures could not do it with a simple process, whereas in the flexible constitution can be amended easily. So there is also a simple procedure. So who can modify the constitution in the flexible constitution? The state itself, legislative itself. So let us come to the India's case. In India, the Indian Constitution is a combination of rigid and flexible characteristics. That means some parts of the Constitution can be easily, with simple majority, they can amend. But when you go to others, whereas some parts of the Constitution requires a 2/3 of majority, as well as not less than 1/2 of the state legislatures. That means some can be changed easily, some can be amended easily, some articles cannot be amended easily. That means, so it is having rigid and flexible constitution, unitary and federal. Now let us see the other characteristic, unitary and federal constitution. Unitary constitution means the constitution which gives the entire powers to the union government. There is no subsidiary polities or any other dual polities. Only the subordinate polities will be there. All the other governments are subordinate to the unitary government. There is one judiciary system, residuary powers, emergency powers, everything will be given to the unitary government. Whereas in the federal constitution, it is very difficult to bring the changes or modifications, rigid constitution. Division of powers between the union and state governments. And moreover, supremacy of the constitution will be there. There is no authority to the union government or the federal government, state government. Here, everything is according to the constitution itself. Bicameral legislature, that means two houses of the legislature can control the governments. It is in the federal system. So unitary features are there. Some unitary constitutions are there. In the unitary constitution, the powers of the government are centralized in one government. That may be the union government. All the other are subordinates. In the federal constitution, I already told you, there is a division of powers between the federal and the state governments. Both can enjoy their independent powers in their spheres. American Constitution generally regarded as an example for the federal constitution, but Indian Constitution, if we come to India, it can be said that the Indian Constitution is neither purely federal or nor a complete unitary state, but a unique combination of both aspects are there for the Indian Constitution. Now let us come to the fundamental rights. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to religious freedom, cultural and education rights, right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 fundamental rights granted by the Constitution for every citizen. See here, the citizen provides an elaborate list of fundamental rights, so which cannot be taken away even during the emergency time. The right to life will be there. The remaining can be taken away except the emergency time. In all the times, see, the fundamental rights can be enjoyed by the people. Nobody can threaten their fundamental rights. But during the emergencies, except right to life, every right could be taken away by the governments. They are incorporated in the constitution from 12 to 35. Now let us come to the fundamental duties. As well as the rights, as you enjoy the rights, you also have a responsibility towards your country, your own country. So that 11 duties of the citizens are incorporated into the constitution according to the article number 51A. It was done in 42nd amendment in the year 1976. So just like abide by the constitution, respecting national flag, national anthem, national leaders, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, integrity of India, to respect the children and women, to safeguard the public property, to promote the harmony. So like that, some of the important responsibilities are given under the fundamental duties. The next one is the parliamentary system. India follows the parliamentary system. If you see that Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Venkaiah Naidu sir is in the chair of Rajya Sabha, I think you could notice it. So like this, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the parliamentary system is there. In the parliamentary system, generally, the people will have the sovereign authority. The Indian Constitution provided parliamentary system of government. That means the real executive powers are rests with the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. Even the head of the country is President of India. He is the nominal in authority. See, as a part of the parliamentary system, bicameralism is also there. What is bicameralism? At every level, two houses of government. That means at the union level, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The state level also Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are there. But some of the for the states, it is not necessary to follow the bicameralism. That means only a few states are following them, especially Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka, Telangana, and Uttar Pradesh are following this type of bicameral legislatures. Previously, Jammu and Kashmir, but now it became as union territory, so it is not following it. So at the union level, there is two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is called as Federal House or Council of States. Lok Sabha is called as House of People or House of Representatives. According to the article number 79, this bicameral legislatures was introduced in India. Now let us come to the directive principles of state policy. There are some principles are incorporated in the Constitution from the article number 35 to 36 to 51. Among them, socialist principles, Gandhian principles and liberal principles also there. So generally, application of the principles contained in this part, they could not be judiciable. Generally, what kind of principles are incorporated in? Equal justice for all, free legal aid, establishment of village panchayats, right to work, right to education, public assistance, like that, common civil code. So such things are incorporated in it. But these are not necessary to follow by the state. But before preparing the laws, if they follow it, then we can get the socialistic Gandhian or liberal modes can be achieved through them. So that before preparing of any law, they may be followed the directive principles of state policy. Now let us come to the universal adult franchise. What is universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise means the people of the country, those who are above the age of 18 years, without any discrimination, just like caste, creed, region, religion, language, every person is given right to vote. That is called as universal adult franchise. Now let us come to the independent judiciary. The judiciary system in India is independent, integrated and independent. Integrated means one judiciary system throughout the country, and moreover independent. It does not favor or fear to any of the organ of the government. The other organs of the government could not influence over the courts of law. The Constitution provides an independent judiciary according to Article 76. It ensures that the government is carried on in accordance with the provisions in the Constitution. For example, it acts as the guardian of the liberties. Liberties means the fundamental rights or other liberties. So, of the citizens could be protected by them. Now let us come to the single citizenship. What is single citizenship? So there is no way for dual citizenship in India. That means, for example, if you are living in America and in the state of Texas, you should have two citizenships. One is Texas citizenship, the other one is USA citizenship. Whereas in India, even if you are in Rajasthan, if you are staying in Gujarat or Andhra Pradesh, Kashmir, whatsoever it may be the state, you would be recognized as one particular citizen, or the that it is nothing but citizen of India. You need not to have any state citizenship and unitary citizenship like in America. Okay, there is a single citizenship provided to our citizens under the Part 2 of the Indian Constitution. So single citizenship allows the person to enjoy equal rights in various aspects across the country. The citizenship of India is largely determined by the principle of jus sanguinis. That means it is based on the citizenship of the parents. Now let us come to the emergency powers. What are emergency powers? Emergency powers means during the crisis time, the government can announce the emergency. Union government can announce the emergency. See here, during the emergency, the Constitution vests the extraordinary powers known as emergency powers. So generally, during the emergencies, who becomes the real executive president? Who announces the emergency? The president announces the emergency. So during the armed rebellion, external aggressions due to failure of the constitutional monarch machinery, so whether in the state or in the country, according to the Article 352, 356 and 360, the emergencies can be announced. So far under Article number 360, financial emergency has not been announced. The remaining were announced. Now let us come to the other features of the Indian Constitution. Up to now, these are very important features. Now, these are the additional features. Secular India, that means secularism in India. The Constitution makes India as a secular state. How do you say that India is a secular state? Because there is no separate religion for the state. Every religion is respected equally in the state. So there is no special provisions provided for any religion. Preamble of the Indian Constitution also says about the fundamental, the Constitution of India, preamble of the Constitution of India also announces that the India as a secular state, and the state does not allow anyone, it does not force anyone to follow any religion, as well as no one can also be forced another person to follow a particular religion. Religion is the private affair of the individual. That is secularism. Now let us come to judicial review. The power of courts to determine the validity of the acts of the legislative or executive department of the government is nothing but judicial review. According to the judicial review, the entire powers were given to the courts of law in the country. It is an essential feature of the Constitution, which helps the Constitution to work properly. There should be an independent judiciary having authority on other organs just like legislature and executive. In a federal constitution, the courts has the final power to interpret the Constitution. So whether the governments are following, legislature is following, or the executive is following. So everything can be observed by the courts of law. See, it is given for check and balance the separation of powers between the different organs of the government. The court that is authorized with the power of judicial review can invalidate any act at any time when it is violated the basic feature of the constitution. So now let us come to the sovereignty. What is meant by sovereignty? It is an essential factor of every state. It means, see, the supreme power. Sovereignty means supreme power. So India has two kinds of sovereignties. One is internal sovereignty, the other one is external sovereignty. So every state has the power to govern themselves and make laws in certain matters is the internal sovereignty. Now let us come to the external sovereignty. The government is the supreme authority and can require or cede any part of the territory or for proper reasons. There is no involvement of any other country in our country matters. It is nothing but the sovereignty. See, India is said to be the sovereign, democratic, socialist, secular, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republic country. So generally, secular and socialist are the terms were added to the preamble in 42nd Amendment. Okay, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. These are the other principles also incorporated in the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble is also a special feature for our Constitution. Now, the Indian Constitution has a lot of salient features which makes it special. The lawmakers have taken all the factors into consideration and have tried to accommodate all differences in our country. However, the Constitution and various rights provided in the Constitution acts as a guardian to our citizens. See, here citizens are guarded by the Constitution. At the same time, see, the lawmakers thought of the future and they provided all the facilities, all the considerations, whatever required by the future generations are also incorporated in the Constitution. These are the special features of our Constitution. Now, thank you. Thank you very much for watching this. Thank you.